Yo, happy Friday Eve, everybody. We are back. This is another episode of Politics with Pan. I'm your host, Pan. My mama named me Christian, but everybody call me Pan. And I'm here with three of the brightest young minds this side of the Mason-Dixon. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, fellas. From the top to the bottom, go ahead.
My name is Phineas Long, a finance major at Texas Southern University.
All right, let them know who you are, Christian.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Christian Davis. I am a sophomore political science major from the illustrious Texas Southern University, where excellence and achievement is our motto. And I'm so blessed to be on this evening. Thank you so much for having me.
For sure, man. And last but not least.
Hello, everyone. I am Sean Josiah Williams, the Mr. Sophomore at the illustrious Texas Southern University. And I'm blessed to be here with everyone else.
Yo, I ain't even gonna lie. Y'all is killing me with this the illustrious Texas Southern University.
It's the best.
You gotta know. You gotta know.
Y'all are killing me. So I mean, I went to Prairie View for my undergrad. Yeah. I went to Prairie View for my undergrad. So a lot of my homies, a lot of my fellow Panthers are going to be seeing this, and they're gonna be like, "Where did you get these cats from?" Like,
they don't realize.
The illustrious. I don't. Is that what they tell y'all to say on freshman orientation day?
No, we come up with it ourselves as students.
We come up with it ourselves because it's in us. This is what we know Texas Southern to be. Just outstanding. It's in us.
I ain't mad at it. I'm glad y'all is proud of y'all's blackness. I'm never gonna lie. I'm trying to wait for Phineas to pop back in.
Okay.
Miss Johnson, Miss Paulina Johnson, hello. Thank you for joining us today. Shout out to the chat. If you got something to say, put it in the chat. While we wait for Phineas, today we finna be talking to these young men about their vote. Oh, there you go. What's up, Phineas? We back?
I'm back. I just connected to my hotspot, man.
Oh, yeah, it's working. That Wi-Fi booming now. Go ahead, let them know who you are, Phineas.
Okay, perfect. And well, my name is Phineas Long. I am a finance major here at Texas Southern University, and I'm just excited. Let's get ready. I'm just hyped.
You know, you see, I like Phineas. You see, he ain't come with none of that extra shit.
Just like that.
It's not extra when it's real.
He ain't coming under that. The illustrious. But I'm gonna let y'all make it. But so today we are talking about black men. We're talking about voting. We're talking about young black men, specifically young black people. Man, just how they feel. How they feel about this current environment. How they feel about this current presidency. Just all of the above. Right. And before we get into that, I have some adult contemporary hip hop to play because what are y'all, Gen Zers? What generation are y'all from?
Well, definitely Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Yeah,
Definitely.
right. So we got some Gen Zers, and I feel like they all grew up on Lil Uzi Vert. Lil Uzi, is Lil Uzi too old?
Yeah, I think Lil Uzi,
like 2016, 2018.
Yeah.
For real? Ah, man. So like what? Like what's his name? Lil Tyler? No.
Wait, y'all give him a good one, please.
Please give me one.
I'm gonna give you a generational right now.
Somebody universal.
Universal. I'll give you Rod Wave.
Okay.
Rod Wave?
Yes.
Rod Wave.
Yep.
Why y'all so sad?
It's not that we sad. You just gotta listen to
gotta
the
feel
lyrics
what's
before you
coming from.
actually decide what the song is depicting.
Really? That man is sad, dog. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I don't dislike Rod Wave. Not saying I dislike him, but Jesus. Like, you know what I mean? Like he like Mary J. He only make good music when he is in distress.
No, that's honestly true. I was going to say that's honestly true. We ain't taking nothing back. It's honestly true.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I have, and it's not me being an old nigga, right? This is me just being observant.
Right.
But I have noticed that the music your generation listen to, it is a lot more emotionally in tune than what I was listening to when I was your age.
Okay.
Like, yeah, because I was listening to, I think Roy Jones might have still been making music when I was your age. Do y'all even know who Roy Jones is?
Look, don't get it wrong. Gen Zers, we still listen to old school.
We
80s, and we still kick with them. Come on.
What's old school? What's old school?
The 99
Okay,
2000.
Look,
The 99 to 2000.
I just played. Well, I'm
Finish your thought, Christian.
well, I was just gonna say that I'm from Southern Louisiana. We listen to a lot of old school, a lot of old school rap. If I do say so myself. So
But what's old school, dog? Give me a song.
Look,
Give
I
me a
got
song.
you. Look, I got how about this? I'm
I
gonna give you a
something
group.
from UGK. You know UGK?
Okay, I can support that.
Okay,
I can support
UGK.
that.
Okay.
I can support UGK.
Yeah.
Phineas, what you got?
New edition.
Wait, we
Okay.
talking about UGK?
Okay, all
UGK.
right.
Okay, Shy, you know something about UGK?
Okay, all right. You know that there's hope for this generation yet.
Just a little Pepsi.
A little, okay,
bit,
all
yeah.
right.
Just a little bit.
little bit.
All right, cool. So I got some adult contemporary hip hop. That's what I like to call it. You know, ever since Jay-Z got up on the stage with his locks blown out, you know, the youngins you see Bobby Shmurda kind of got on him and told him he need to sit down because he old, basically. Yeah. But also, I mean, granted, as a millennial, I'm not the biggest Jay-Z fan. I can admit that. But nonetheless, because I don't know what y'all listen to, and I feel like it's either very emotional or it's like, mwah, mwah. You know, I usually just kind of write it off. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I usually just write it off. But I have some adult contemporary hip hop to share with you all.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, so this is my partner, Mr. Tomo Nashi. Now, this man is not Japanese. He is black, and he is from A-Leaf, Texas.
Okay.
Yes. Mr. Tomo Nashi, better known as Martellus Bennett. He used to play tight end for the New England Patriots. You know, one of the greatest black minds I've ever met in my entire life. A deep thinker, a philosopher, if you will, an author, an artist, and, you know, just all around cool guy. Man, this is one of his many talents, and I love his music. And I thought it would be appropriate because we're talking about like cool black stuff and black men and black power, and I think this goes. So we're going to listen to a little Mr. Tomo Nashi. This is 25th Street by Mr. Tomo Nashi. Y'all let me know what you think when we get done.
All of the couches, dinner, purchase with government. Yeah, I'm from the land of watermelons and flowers. Plastic covering all of the couches. Dinner, purchased with government vouchers. Daydreaming in front of government housing. Fathers, arguing with baby mamas. Children, consuming the family trauma. Parents, don't address the family problems. Social media celebrating the drama. To get technical, I saw a nigga get stabbed over Tecmo. Damn, yeah. And you niggas still playing games. In my community to be a leader, you need fame. In my community to be a leader, you need a chain. In my community to be a leader, you need things. Some days, I wanna jump from a plane. Just so the youth can see me spread my wings. Fly, nigga, it rains whenever I cry, nigga. Move with purpose and passion when you know your why, nigga. Bye, niggas. Fuck it. I'm back with facts, you lazy niggas liabilities. I'm trying to maximize these God-given abilities. But I know the meals we eat is killing me. Food for thought, I'm spilling beans. These collard greens served with cornbread and dirty rice. These days I'm in love with my own life. Yesterday I had ramen and sushi twice. Dating myself is kinda nice. No other way to go besides vertical. But it seems the world suffers from vertigo. It's only a matter of time before the mass killings and mass shooters reach somebody that we all really know. Yeah, somebody that's really close. To home, to mom, to dad. Yeah. To brothers and sisters, truth hurts when it hits you. 7-year-old carrying a pistol, Cleo couldn't see this in crystal, yeah. Yeah, but I see this shit crystal clear. It's the same shit, different year. A different me, a different y'all, a different we. Mother Earth would probably look so differently. I manifested everything y'all couldn't see.
Yeah, that was 25th Street by Mr. Tomo Nashi. What y'all think about that adult contemporary hip hop?
I'm gonna be completely honest. Completely honest.
You go first.
Look, I can only relate to it because he's actually speaking the truth. Like, you know, you have some rappers who be, you know, they just talk just to talk, right? He was actually speaking with meaning. You can actually understand where he was coming from. For real.
Okay.
I actually, because first I was like, okay, all right. And then he kept on going, and he kept on going with the same flow. I'm gonna be honest. completely honest, put on the flow.
I actually agree with Phineas. I feel like he was very lyrical. Like you could actually hear what he's talking about, hear what he's trying to implement through his lyrics, but just the constant flow, it kind of sounded like more of a poem than you know, trying to
Yeah. I'm invoking the spirit of Juneteenth. Yeah.
That's real. I agree.
Yeah. What'd you think, Christian?
I really enjoyed it. Okay, because it had a deep meaning. It talked about. I really feel like it appealed to a lot of different ideologies, if you will. Because I'm sorry, I don't mean. They said Christian said this is a song. He talking about sociology, but I'm saying like it's just really like I started thinking about like socioeconomic perspectives,
Right.
and different things, if you will, talking about how he grew up, and things started to resonate because you start thinking about that, like Phineas said, he was speaking about real life situations. And honestly, instances of murder, instances of violence, these are things that we see frequently in the Black community. So I really feel like he had a good approach on how to put that into song. And so that's why I really felt I really messed with it, because in addition to what Sean said, it was really poetic, if you will. You could see a lot of different imagery. Like you could you could hear it like through the song and imagine what he was experiencing in the time. So I really mess with it because of personal experience.
Right
on, man. You know what? I appreciate y'all, you know what I'm saying, loving the art.
Most definitely.
This is what I do. I love to share music, and my little cousins, that music trash, so like I said, I usually just write y'all off, but y'all have always been impressive young brothers, and you have yet to disappoint me. I would just like to say that. Yet to disappoint me. So let's get into it. What we got? As a fellow millennial, it was lit. And the message was clear. That's what I'm talking about. Miss Renee. Shout out to the chat. So I brought y'all on. Initially, I was like, I'm going to get Sean on here, because everybody that I normally talk to is over the age of 30, really, 35. So I never actually get a young perspective, like a new perspective, something fresh. I don't know what the kids is doing. I know they be on Kick. Y'all watch Dean and AB?
Yeah, I see.
What's wrong with them?
Honestly, I'll be honest, they just living life. They just not giving a care. They're just not. But you gotta understand, when you're in that field, especially in the streaming field, people reward you for living your own life. Like they,
I would like for y'all to explain that to the old people.
Okay, so I feel like streaming overall is a job. It's another job. It's not a 9 to 5, but it's another job for you. You being yourself, and people are paying to watch you. People are paying to watch your life. Now, there's also pros and cons with it, right? The pros is you get a whole bunch of luxury. People not praise you, but everybody like, oh my gosh, look at you, this and that. But the cons is you can't do certain things no more because now you are a leader. You're not just a person who's on the screen. People are looking up to you now. So that's what
I want to interject because you said leader.
Right.
Like, do Christian and Sean, do y'all feel the same way? Like, do y'all view some of these streaming influencers as like leaders in the culture?
I honestly do feel like they're leaders, even though some people might not see it. These are people even my age and people younger than me, they're watching them. As Phineas said, they're looking up to them. So I feel like they should consider themselves mentors to younger generations.
Okay, I agree with Sean conditionally.
Okay.
The reason I say conditionally is because of the fact that I do agree that they're leaders, but in their own right.
Right.
Because, for instance, there's a lot of streamers who have introduced faith into their streams. And so from that, young men have said, well, okay, since he shows that he's strong in his faith, and that's something that I want to represent in my life. That is something I want to implement in my life, rather.
Right.
Because he's doing it, because it looks great. But then when you get into these streamers that are doing things that are left, and it's just being a man of integrity. It's just some things that me personally, I know that I can't get down with. But at the same time, if I do agree with Sean and Phineas that these streamers can be seen as leaders as well.
Most definitely.
Most definitely.
That's interesting. I mean, 'cause, that kind of goes into one of my questions, right? Like from the day is as we go into the election cycle, and both parties start to push out their marketing strategies,
Right.
right? Like the different ways that they are trying to reach young people, right? And
Right.
learning, right now that like how you all do view these different streamers, right?
Right.
It's interesting because as someone who is around folks who are making decisions on like what to say, what to do, how to do it. Like
Right.
I have never been privy to the perspective that like that these individuals have so much validation in y'all's community. Yeah, like I like who though? Like I would like to know who. Like, cause is it Dean? Cause he be tripping.
I don't necessarily think it's Dean, because Dean and AB, they're kind of new to the streaming platform. Yeah, they just came in the game and they rose to the top. But I feel like when you talk about streamers and talk about streamers that kids actually look up to, you think people like Kai Cenat, most definitely. You think that's my one. You guys give him another one, but most definitely Kai Cenat, because he comes from where I'm from, New York. So I've been seeing him since before he got famous. So to see him go from just being a regular guy making reels and then to skyrocket into super fame, and now so much people are backing him, so much people are looking up to him, and he actually considers himself as a mentor. Like him and his group of friends, AMP, like they do stuff, they make content, but they always try to promote good ideals to kids. Like they never try to really harp on one thing that's bad. They really try to promote like good ideals to the younger generation.
Okay. Who else would you say is a leader in that space?
I mean, I was going to say let's just stick with Kai Cenat because he is, but I can go for Speed. Darren Watkins. Speed.
Okay. I like Speed.
Yes, but Speed, you can tell by his platform of what he had been doing, right? And this platform, a lot of people have been watching him get millions of views, but he's traveling across the country. I don't know, where was it? He went to South Africa. I don't know if I'm wrong or anything, but he did like a global tour and everything.
Yep,
but while is he doing the global tour, other people were still getting educated about the country or the cities.
Overall, different cultures overall. Yeah,
yes, and mind you, people don't have money to go out to South Africa, right? People don't, people can't just do that, and which he can because he is blessed, right? And he worked hard for it. He is blessed. Now he's sharing it to a whole bunch of other people. He's still being himself while people are still getting educated. So that's one of the reasons.
Christian, you got any faith-based recommendations for the people?
Okay. So with faith-based recommendation, there is this one young man, and the crazy part is, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't watch streams, so I'm not gonna even lie. I don't. So like when y'all were both talking, y'all are teaching me something. I was like, oh, okay, all right. I don't watch streams. So with faith-based recommendations, you 9 times out of 10 catch me watching a sermon. But there is this one young man, I can't remember who he was, but I do know, y'all may know who he is. The Shay Frost sent his followers to go and watch his stream.
Arius. His name Arius.
Arius. That's his name?
Yes.
Okay, because he has a faith-based stream, I think.
Yes.
And he posts a lot about faith content, about discipleship, and how we ought to live as Christians. And so I think he's amazing. And I don't really keep up with him. My main way is through reels. I'll see a reel of him pop up every now and then. And so I'll say that he's a pretty good inspiration in something. And as far as streams, if you're into streams and you're into building your faith, he's a great streamer to watch as well.
Definitely.
So while we're talking about streaming, where do you all consume the most content? Like, how do y'all get news when you find out about what's happening in the world? Like, where do you get that information from?
So me, I have a news app on my phone, and it pops up with important top trending news. But most of my content, I get it from, as Christian has said, scrolling on Instagram Reels. Like you scroll. Like there's an algorithm to like whatever you're interested in, that's what's gonna pop up. So if you scroll and then you see something you're interested in, you watch it for a couple times, 9 times out of 10, more of that is gonna pop up. So when I'm on Instagram and I'm scrolling and I see my politic related videos, then more of it pops up. And
I can totally agree with Sean right there, because that's the only thing about me, how I've been learning about politics is through Instagram Reels. they've been teaching me, and the algorithm is true. Like now you go through my Instagram reel is basketball, football, gaming, and news, So now, but it's something for me to learn though. It's always, like I said, pros and cons, but I'm taking the pros and I'm learning.
Christian?
I agree with both of my brothers here. It's mainly through Instagram reels and through TikTok. But honestly, with that, I would say that I get a lot of political information from both sources, but I always examine the source. So I do follow like a lot of trusted sources that do render political information, and even friends as well who put out content regarding the political climate right now. And so I'll say a lot of those things. And again, what Phineas said, in addition to what he said, that the algorithm, it just has this way of tailoring to you.
Yeah.
So I'll find a lot of faith-based content. I'll find a lot of day in the lives, get ready with me content. But above all, I'll make sure that, and I mean 9 times out of 10, I'll find some political content.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So what makes y'all stop scrolling? Like if it's political content, like what makes you stop scrolling? And like what makes you stop scrolling and share?
So honestly, for me, what makes me stop scrolling is just what you're talking about, how it affects me, and the passion of you talking about it. The most important thing for me is the passion. If you're not passionate about what you're talking about, then it won't necessarily pique my attention. If you're passionate about it and it affects me, then and it affects the people that I'm around, then most definitely I'm gonna stop and watch, because I feel like if it affects me and it has something to do with politics, there can be a way that I can input my decisions to help you get to where you need to be.
That is great. I agree with Sean. I believe I want to circle back on what the passion he said about it. I feel like you have to grab my attention. You got a little while to grab my attention and to tell me why it's worth it. And you know what else helps, Christian? I'm not going to lie. What else helps when you come into a reel that has the words on the screen? Do y'all know what I'm saying?
Most definitely, like a description
or something, or especially with the redistricting that was happening in the southern states. A lot of political figures that I follow, they had a way of saying that. They'll start out with a forceful statement about let's protect our liberties granted by the Constitution. Like it'll be something like that. Your right to vote may be at stake. Like it's something, because when you realize how important it is to you, you'll understand that what they're saying is like, okay, maybe I need to watch this. Voting is a part of me. This is a hard fought liberty. Maybe I need to watch this. Maybe I need to tune in. Having more representation is important to me. And this person is saying something about my representation being attacked. So what I'll just say is that what makes me stop is their ability to grab my attention, to keep my attention in that reel or that video.
And honestly, they just took my words. And I totally agree. You have to grab. And I mean grab. You have to grab my attention, because as a kid from Detroit metro area who come all the way here to Houston, Texas to get an education, I'm all the way in Michigan, I'm chilling, relaxing. I'm coming back here. It's like, oh, what is happening now? The economy going left.
Yeah,
going left and right. It's like, whoa. So in order to grab my attention, you have to be passionate. You have to be meaningful with your words, because at the end of the day, what somebody's decision can affect you, me, and all of us on this call, and my brothers and my sisters can affect everybody. So that is what's honestly what makes me stop scrolling. And plus, I love to learn something new. I'm very versatile. I love learning something new.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense, and that tracks. I'm gonna say that I am shocked that none of you said YouTube. Like y'all don't use YouTube like that.
No,
not anymore.
YouTube just died down. It's just really like a kids thing. I'm gonna be honest.
That is their perspective of YouTube, but me. Let me tell you, I'll probably look at this. They said most used apps. It says because I enjoy YouTube, and some of that information that I was speaking about previously does come from YouTube as well. Because YouTube Shorts are genuinely, if you want to know more about something, you go to YouTube and you plug it in. If you want to know how to change the light on your car, you go to YouTube and you plug it in. So I use YouTube a lot, but I'm just saying in general, especially as to get my information, I make sure to go back to YouTube. Sure.
Okay, yeah, because I was definitely thinking somebody was gonna say YouTube Shorts, like I mean, but I watch YouTube Shorts. I watch Instagram Reels. I mean, I use all of them: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. Like it just depends on which one I decide to get on that day. I think I might use Facebook the most though, but I'm
Okay,
old.
I was just going to ask you a question. I don't know, what do you use the most? Like what?
I would probably say I communicate the most on Facebook.
There's
I was in your era, right? When Facebook came out?
Yeah.
Mhm.
When I was in high school,
with that.
when I was when I was in high school, we had MySpace.
You guilty. You may be guilty.
But yeah, when I was about y'all age, because what y'all 19?
Yes, 19.
Right,
18.
yeah. So 18, 19, that's freshman year in college. I don't even know if I was using social media, bro. Like honestly, like yeah, when I was like worried about where my phone was for the most part, unless there was like some young lady that I was trying to see later, I didn't need my phone then. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Phones weren't what they are now. I'm sounding like a fucking dinosaur, which is crazy. But I mean, honest to God, though, like phones were not what they are now, right? Like all of the distraction that you have in your phone. When I was 18, 19 years old, I was outside, bro, with my partners, like in real life, right? Like what y'all call IRL. That was everything for us. There was no like we didn't like when the homies that I had who were like I remember thinking the people who were good at Twitter were geniuses back in the day. Because Twitter was hard for me to figure out, like the @ and all that. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? It used to piss me off. Like I'm not using this. Like a 90-year-old man. Like I'm not using this. I'm not down. We ain't do none of that. We just used to be outside. We was together. Like so. When you hear older people talk about how y'all always on your phones and y'all don't do this and y'all don't do that, it's because literally it's like we were in the Stone Age compared to today.
I was just going to say that because I'm saying we really grew up on technology.
Yeah, I mean, I did too, right? Like when I was in elementary school, right? Like y'all have the computers that are tight, right? We had these big blocks, right? And we had to use Mavis Beacon and play the Oregon Trail. Like you don't even know struggle. Y'all don't know struggle, bro. Y'all ain't never had to sit through the Oregon Trail. Y'all never had to play Mavis Beacon, dog. Like you don't know struggle, bro. You don't know the screen turning blue and then going beep. Like you don't know. Like it has come a long way, dog. From Game Boy Colors to PlayStation 5s, you have no idea. And in my lifetime, I have seen. See, that's funny. Look at this.
Through your window.
Dog. Like, but for real though, like straight up, like it was. I mean, it wasn't rough, but compared to the technology that y'all have today, dog, like we didn't have that many distractions. Right. Like it was not that, bro. Like we'd be outside. If you knew how to use a computer, like you were probably weird. For real, like honestly, back then, you know what I mean, especially like because you in the house, right? Y'all heard the Travis Scott story?
No.
All right, bet. So Travis a musical genius, right?
Right.
But everybody should think bro was weird because he was into computers. When you're into computers, you're usually a hermit because all of the time that you spend, right, is gonna be in front of your computer. It's you and the machine, dog, because you gotta figure it out. Like especially if nobody taught you. Bill Gates, all of them, right? Like, look, she said, if you had a computer at home, you was rich. Mm-hmm. Now you can go get a computer for $200, $150. It wasn't like that before. Nobody had computers in their houses. People didn't have internet in their houses. We had dial-up. You pick up the phone, they'll kick you out the internet. Yeah, Christian, like that. You are. They'll kick you out the internet, dog. Like, yeah, what are you? And you sitting there like, what's going on? They're like, I'm on the computer. I'm on AOL. And it's like, what? Do you even know what AOL is?
Nah, I most definitely heard of AOL before, but I can't recall exactly.
I'm going to be honest. I do not know. Educate me. I don't know. You got to educate me.
So AOL was America Online, right? Like that's what it meant, America Online. This is I'm like Phineas, like we grew up on technology. I did too. Like in the like this like the
developmental stages.
Nah, bro, because they've been the internet been around since like the 70s.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was like a government thing.
Yeah.
And then by the time I was born, they started to bring it into the mainstream because of Bill Gates and them. Mm-hmm. So like Bill Gates' generation is the generation that made the internet a mainstream thing. And then we grew up with them like experimenting with the internet, the different the web pages. Like I grew up doing what's called the .com boom. So all of the people who like made millions and millions of dollars by, like people still do this. You think of a domain name, right? You know what a domain name is? So for those of you who don't know what a domain name is, it's like facebook.com, right? So if you were the person who bought shoes.com, right? Like if you bought shoes.com in 1993, by the time 1997 came, it was somebody with $1 trillion that wanted to buy shoes.com. So if you had the foresight to buy a domain name, it would make you a millionaire, kind of like Bitcoin. So it was like that. Like the Bitcoin thing happened before, but it was in a different form. Okay. And that's how like all like the Mark Cubans of the world were born. Elon Musk. Like that's where they came from. They're internet millionaires. So this is like your first group of people who like, this is the first time in like American history where wealth wasn't necessarily transferred from generation. It was created. Like a lot of these people are self-made millionaires. Like because they were able to, their families were wealthy enough for them to have access to a computer. Yes. So like, Miss Johnson here is saying, so if y'all, go buy your domain names now, they like $12. Okay. You never know. You think of something, inkpens.com, whatever you think about, you got an extra $12, $13, just buy it. You never know.
Putting that on my list right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you never know.
You'll never know. You would literally never know, dog. But, all of that to say, right, the internet has come a long way. And so because of that, I primarily use Facebook because Facebook was like the first one. And that's where like I have friends from like elementary school on my Facebook. And I'm 36. Like, so I mean like Facebook is like a catalog of my life. Okay. Yeah, like you can go look on my Facebook and you can see like the progression of my life. Like that's usually like, and most people who use it a lot that are my age, it is like that for them. Like, so if you lose your Facebook, and I'm a military brat, so I move a lot, so I meet a lot of people. I got friends who live all over the world and stuff like that. So this helps me to stay connected to them. Instagram happened after that phase of my life. So Instagram was like college. Okay. So that was like, like Instagram, Twitter, that was college. So that was me having to get used to a new technology like Instagram, which y'all know is to be normal now. Like, boys had to get introduced to that. Like, how do you do this? We got to like take pictures now and stuff like that. It wasn't like that on Facebook. It was real pixelated and everybody had like these Nokia phones that played Snake on them. It was real barbaric.
I'm gonna say Kias. You probably Kias. I don't like that was before your time.
A Nokia? Mm-hmm. No, that's my time. Like that's back when like. See, y'all don't know. Y'all don't know, dog. Y'all don't know. Woo! Y'all don't know, dog. Like that's back when. What's that T-Mobile phone, man? You had to flip that bad boy, man. What's it called? God dog it. Somebody in the chat. Nah, man, you had to like. This was the hottest phone in like the 10th. When I was in the 10th grade, this was the hottest phone on the market, bro. If you had one of these phones, what is? I'm finna Google it. Hold up. I'm finna Google it.
I'm really confused because I'm trying to figure it out.
Sidekick.
I never heard of that. I never heard of that.
Yo, the Sidekick phone, dog. I'm finna put you on.
I was all the way on.
I'm finna put you on. The Sidekick. So the Sidekick, that's the Sidekick right there. This was the iPhone like before iPhone. If you had a Sidekick, y'all on TikTok right now, y'all know how they making them decks like them, you know what I mean? Like it's the Sidekick kind of look like that. But this was the iPhone before the iPhone. Look, somebody selling one for $300.
$300. Oh,
Is it becoming
I thought that's a little too pricey.
That's
a lot of no. That's actually because you can sell that in 50 years.
Is it functional?
If it is functional, bro, like people my age.
Yeah.
Yo, boys, I would probably spend $300 on a Sidekick just like to be like pull up on my homies with a Sidekick. Boys
like
gonna be like, oh, yeah, for sure. Boys gonna be like, oh, you flexing? You got a Sidekick? Yeah. It's a big deal. Look, she said you were big important when you got a BlackBerry. I wasn't that important, but the BlackBerry was a thing. Like it was definitely a thing, but I'm gonna stop aging myself. Everybody, yeah, I think everybody who has listened has learned how to connect to the younger generation via the interweb. Do it on Instagram, Reels, and TikTok. And if you are targeting young men like Christian here, you use YouTube.
Use YouTube.
Use YouTube. All right, bet. So while getting into how to contact y'all, what does a politician have to do to earn your vote? As a young man, yes, as a young man in the game today, right? You can vote. The power is now in your hands. You can be one of the people to decide if these people have a job and or not. And because you have that power, how do you flex it?
What a politician has to do to get my vote, most definitely, since I go to a historically black college, show up with the proper intention. Like what I mean by that is like a lot of people, they go to their committee meetings, they have their campaigns, but they don't necessarily show up in places that it matters. Like I haven't seen certain people here in Third Ward on campus actually trying to engage with students. And when they do come, they come unannounced. It's like random. And sometimes people, when they come here, they don't necessarily come here with the proper intentions. Like I don't necessarily see people that show up and it's like I'm showing up because I actually care about the students at this university. I actually care about the embetterment of their lives. They necessarily only care about that vote that we're talking about, and I completely understand that on their case. But we're in a generation now that if you show up, we can read older people very easily. I say so. So if you show up and we see that you're not here for us, but for yourself, then it's like, So I definitely say showing up with the proper intention.
All right.
I totally agree with you. I will honestly say one word: be accountable. Accountability, just all accountable.
Okay.
If you're gonna say something, please. And this is everyday life, like everyday principle, right? If you're gonna say something, actually do it. If you're not gonna do it, don't say anything at all. Look, you can't walk your talk. You know what I mean? Or like you can't talk your walk. You know what I mean? You have to. If you're gonna talk it, you have to walk it.
You gotta walk it.
So for example, I can tell y'all. I say, yeah, I want to end a high GPA in college, do this and do that. But if I'm not doing anything, if I'm not educating myself, if I'm not going out 24/7, if I'm actually doing my homework and doing what I need to do, so I could do what I want to do. Quote my mother. I'm telling you, life would be so much easier. Point blank. And people and overall us as college students too, when we see that you're accountable of your own words, that shows a lot. Definitely. And that means a lot to us too, overall, especially in Third Ward area.
Okay.
I agree with both of my brothers here. They just y'all are very insightful and very wise, might I add. I just want to coalesce with both of their ideas together. And I just want to say, in addition to what Phineas said, trustworthy, and I want to talk about validity. And the reason I say, you may be like, what validity has to do with it? Can I share it real quick? So I ran this, as we all did. I ran this in this past election season. I ran for a Senate at large position. I ran to be the internal affairs senator of the Student Government Association. And in my mind, Christian, what I was thinking was, how can I show them that I'm going to be a man of my word? How can I show them? Because here's the thing. I said, you got to set a distinction, because they're all going to be walking on the tiger walk, hearing all of these candidates saying great things or intentions that they have. But what makes you different? Right. What have you done already that proves that you're a great fit for this position. And that's what I think of when I think of voting for a politician. I think about, what have you done already? What impact have you made in our community? What bills, resolutions have you supported? What, you know, I think about all of these things. I think about your history and past terms that you've served. I need to see the results from what you've done before to make me want to vote for you now. And even if it's not that, I want to see a clear plan or a clear vision of what you will do, of the impact that you will make. It's just when we're considering a politician, they when it comes to us, in addition to what Sean said, many politicians might think, okay, maybe since they're Gen Z, we could just tell them this and they're gonna agree with this. No, you're living in a pivotal generation. A lot of my peers and I are becoming educated on these matters that pertain to us, and so we're educated voters now. You know, we may say a lot that our generation isn't educated, but no, we know we're educated now. So you can't just throw us anything. We have to see intention behind your character, intention behind, you know, your pursuit of office. We have to see some type of intention, some type of validity, and some type of trust, if you will.
Yeah. Okay.
Can we get the soundboard from my guy Christian, please?
You know, like, hold on. Let me. You know what I mean? Like,
they started off. I gotta give a head to them because they're the ones that initiated this thought. And I'm telling you, I just picked off of what y'all put down, literally.
And I do want to touch base on that.
That's exactly what I meant. They are the difference in our generation. These brothers right here, they're educated. You know, we've been in some of the same rooms together. You know, I want to add, Phineas is not even a political science major, but he's very involved. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and he's getting knowledgeable on these policies, on these things that are going to affect all of us. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to say. You know, we're evolving as a generation. We're coming to the forefront. We're making a difference.
Most definitely.
I want to segment that, right? Because the three of you are young, educated, astute brothers, right? You know what I'm saying? Educated in one of the finest Negro institutions this side of the Mason-Dixie, right? But what do you say to the brothers who are not college educated? What do you say to those young brothers who are your age, who work at the shipyard, or they're truck drivers, or they are, you know, they are, you know, working class brothers and sisters who don't have the engagement that you all have? They don't have the access to the politicians and the business leaders and things like that, right? Like, how do you, as those who have the opportunity and the privilege to be able to, you know, interact with people at the level that you do, how do you then reach back to those who don't have that experience to be able to help them get out of the rut of my vote don't count or it don't matter? You know what I mean? Like, how does that work, right? It's the young folk that are your age, but y'all don't live the same life experience.
I feel like most definitely starting off with social media. That's a big thing that people misinterpret. People our age, they're going to utilize social media. And if they don't utilize social media, I know for myself, I do a lot of outreach. So I see some of these brothers that you're talking about that don't have the same opportunities as me. But my thing is that the opportunities that I'm getting is for these same people that you aren't talking about. The opportunities that I'm getting are for the working class brothers that need information. That's what my purpose is here, to provide the information to these brothers so they know what's going on. They know how to respond to different situations. So I just say that, one, just being outside, talking to these people, communicating to these people, letting them know that they matter. Because my thing is that I kind of feel like politics rule the world. No matter what you're doing, politics is going to affect you. They're going to affect your job. They're going to affect the money that you're making. They're going to affect your household situation. All of these little things that you don't necessarily care about, politics can affect it in a big way. So just letting them be aware of that exact thing is what I would say.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm gonna piggyback off of Sean right there, and I honestly believe that you can literally do anything what you want to do if you put your mind to, and that's what I literally tell anybody that's who's working class, who's doing this, who's not in college. You can literally do it. If you want to become a politician, you can become a politician. But in order for you to do that, you have to work and you have to make 1% better every day. What is it called? Elevate every year or all year?
Elevate all year.
Elevate all year. Let's do that. Elevate all year. 1% better every day, right? You can always improve. You can always want to learn something. It's social media. It's technology. Everything is on, so on everything.
It's
Everything.
on this.
Like,
Everything
it's on
is
his
here.
phone. It's on. Hey, look. Let me get my phone. My phone fan. I'm sorry, yo. On his phone, this is a mini computer. This is a mini computer. You can literally get all valuable information. Same thing what you got on your computer, because you don't need no computer. You can only need a phone, an Android, or anything like that, because it is a mini computer. You can always learn. So if you want to become a politician, if you want to become a surgeon, you can do it. Just right now, it's seasonal. You have to think about it like this. What you're in right now, I tell people all this. What you're in is seasonal. It's not guaranteed. It's seasonal. So you have to keep on going, and you have to be 1% better every day. Now, if you want to be all up with the politician and everything, with the politics, like what Sean said, Instagram, social media, it tells you everything. If you're confused, why am I getting paid less now? What you can look it up right now. What have been happening into the economy? And they will tell you the answer. They will give you it. They will tell you a whole rundown.
Okay. Christian?
I agree with both of my brothers yet again. I would say, Christian, you did ask something. You said, what would you tell? Because I'm rethinking your question. You said, what would you tell some brother or some person that is not as educated or as involved as us? How would you relate these issues or these circumstances, these matters to them? Well, I believe assertively is on the basis of relatability.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to be an educator, in every person, there should be an educator that lives on the inside of you. And so you should be able to relate to someone on a certain level. You get what I'm saying? If they don't have that same experience and they don't have that same understanding on how these issues and how these issues impact them and how their vote matters, you have to be the one to make the difference and to tell them and to relate to them on a level. For instance, like you said, someone may be a truck driver, someone, they may have not obtained a college education, but that's okay. I'm gonna tell you how your vote matters anyway. Let me tell you how, if you don't vote in this upcoming election, that your income could be at stake. Taxes could be at stake. There are so many intricate parts that are tied to the power of our vote, and people don't realize that. So I'll say it's simply by relatability and means of education. Are we passionate enough to educate people on these issues that are very, very important, very compulsory? Because here's the thing. We may know the issues, and here's the thing: somebody may not know how to dissect that. Somebody may say, "What does that mean for me?" I'm gonna use redistricting again. People keep hearing this thrown around. Someone may have not gone to college. They may not be in this political climate. They're like, "What's the big deal? I don't understand." What they don't, and then that's what we got to tell them. We got to break down the process to them. Tell them that there's legislators, there are representatives that represent us, that represent our interests, that represent our color. So we have to tell them that what they're seeking to do is lessen our representation, which is detrimental to us as a people. You have to be able to tell them and be able to educate them on certain matters and things that pertain to all of us, not just them individually, but all of us as a people. So I would say relatability. Just be at that level. Keep it real with them. Keep it in 100, if you will.
So, and I want to get into keeping it 100 because I want to ask, right? People perceive you differently when you show up in a suit versus when you show up in a t-shirt or something like that, right? So, and I'm gonna get into the next song and we're gonna talk for a little bit more. But I want y'all to think about that, right? Like, how, right? Like, because as I have been organizing in politics, I noticed, right? You notice the wealth disparities amongst Black people. You notice the education disparities amongst people. And a lot of times the wealth and education gap between us as individuals, even though we are Black, it can be daunting for the person standing on the other side of you, right? So, as you are thinking about meeting these people, right, meeting your peers, I'm saying, your peers who are not in college, right, those people who you may talk to who may say, man, this don't matter to me, right, blah, 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 blah. Like, I want you to think about what day to day look like, right? Like what that looks like for them, what going to work looks like for them, what going home looks like for them, what their social time looks like. and things like that, when you are educating them on the things that they may be losing, right? Because a lot of times, especially us who are more involved, we see it from a different lens, right? And, like losing your voting rights is detrimental, right? But if you don't vote at all, it don't mean shit. You know what I mean? Right. So if I don't vote at all, it means nothing. So what can you say to me to get me to vote, to believe that I have power, right? As an individual in America, and somebody who might just be, who live in Sunnyside and, they work and they go home and stuff like that, but they don't participate politically. They don't believe that they truly have a voice or that they can truly be engaged because they have not actually seen tangible change in their life. You know what I mean? So when you are exposed to people who create tangible change, it lights a spark in you, right? Like the three of you, right? Like you have been exposed to people who have used their minds to do things like, to basically like move mountains, right? But you gotta remember, and we all gotta remember, that there are people who look like us who have not had that experience, and they are the majority and we are the minority. And as the minority, I would say more privileged class, right? We say that because going to college, especially as a black man, is a privilege, right? Like, looking at the stats, we're talking about it. People who have college degrees vote at about 62%, right? If you don't have, and these are Gen Zers, right? 62% of y'all vote, right? If you don't have college experience, it's only 42%. That's a 20% gap of participation. Depending on where you are, that is millions and millions and millions of people that are politically disengaged. You see what I'm saying? Now, those numbers are not specifically based on black people, but that's just Gen Zers, right? Like people, within Gen Z, I think from Gen Z to maybe like 25, I think 25 still may be Gen Z, right? So I know a lot of times in the organizations, right? Because because I need to get to this song. But a lot of time in the organizations, I think we talk in a wind tunnel, right? And we talk to a lot of people who watch CNN, ABC, stuff like that, like very astute politically and, world affairs, economics and stuff like that. And that's fine. But in order to be able to win the battle, you need soldiers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And currently our soldiers have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Mm-hmm. Come on here.
Just like that. Leave on the floor. Just like that.
Help us.
They have no idea what's going on. So I got two more questions I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna get into the second song. This is another Mr. Tomonashi track that is such a tongue twister. Jesus, Marty. This is called Punta de Mita.
All right, Punta de Mita.
Marty introduced me to this song, right? Because he's rich, right? He was like on a beach somewhere with, I believe, Angela Davis. Right. Yeah. Right. Crazy. Right. He's like on a beach somewhere, like at this, like, don't get me, not trying to make it weird. He's married. Him and his wife, they've been together for a long time. They love each other. Actually, happy anniversary to the two of them. Right. They just celebrated their wedding anniversary. Right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let me get out a hand clap real quick for Black Love. But he was out like doing his creative thing, and I can't remember what he said, but like the conversation he had with her inspired this song, and he sent it to me, and I was like, what? He said like something about diamond rings being the size of chicken nuggets, and I was sold. Yeah, so I'm finna play it. This is Punta de Mita.
On the beat. It's Marty, ho. So much holy water around my neck, looking like I'm getting baptized. Jesus' peace is the size of chicken nuggets. Mama never realized diamonds come in that size. Wifey ring the size of Tracy Ellis' eyes. Fantasize the lifestyle that we live in. Business booming, I just bought another building. Couple seconds pass, I just made another million. While I'm somewhere in a villa, just chilling like a villain. I ain't never had a ceiling. The sky's not my limit, I'm a Bennett. The last name holds weight. Medusa on my dinner plate. Dinner chairs, boucle, menu full of souffle, 10K for the suitcase. Yeah, that's just to carry on. Wrist covered in this Avion. Yeah, it drizzles when I wave. Money keep calling, I'm already on the way. Cruising down the avenue, Smoking to this Badu soundtracks for the Kung Fu that ride you and guide you. High you, I'm the reason why the sky's blue. You can smell the weed in the air when I fly through. Yeah, every time I cop the whip, yeah, I bought my bitch one too. Retired from the sport, but a nigga still ballin'. Balenciaga coat, nigga paired with these Jordans. Only fell in love once, so you know where my heart is. Every stone I ever bought, nigga, was flawless. There's 100K, nigga, where my jaw is. Another 150K wherever my car is. Yeah, you know you getting money when your lifestyle random. Drive these Porsches in tandems. Shy getting better, I've been working on my handles. Nigga, I spent $500 on these sandals. $350 on this flannel. I'm your bitch's favorite channel. My sofa made a camel.
$350 on this flannel. I'm your man.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that one was way harder than the first one.
Yeah, that's why I saved it. But when it came on,
I gotta disagree with both of y'all.
What?
All three of y'all. The first one to me was a lot more lyrical than this one. I don't know what it was.
Okay, I feel like to relate it to a real life instance, it's like we kind of went from like a J. Cole type thing to like more like a Kendrick Lamar.
More a little bit, like a little
just
bit.
The vibe of the song.
He was vibing. That song was more vibey. Like it was more vibey. I can agree with Phineas. The first song was a lot deeper. It was more of a ballad. You know what I mean? You know, I figure, you know, I'm a kind of a DJ a little bit, right? You know what I'm saying? I kind of wanted to ease it in, you know what I mean? Get into the intellectual conversation while we at the peak, drop a banger. You know what I mean? And then, you know, we're going to ride out to something smooth. You know, I be doing this. I programmed this whole thing myself. I would just like to put that out. Yes, this is my entire brainchild. Which is a lot. But anyway, I bet. So, back to what I was saying. As young black leaders in the space, dog, I want to impart upon you three to never disconnect from the street. Never disconnect from the people. Like, that is your base, your base, your base. It don't matter how much money anybody can bring to you, whatever the case may be. I'd like to encourage young people to get your bread up before you get into politics so you cannot be bought. Whatever that means for you, get your money up. You want to be a senator? Be a senator. But make sure that you got your bread, though. So that can nobody come to you and say, here go a bag of money. You don't want that, right? You don't, because when you're down on your luck, when you're hungry, that piece of cheese look tempting. You feel me? But Christian gonna back me up with an amen. The devil gonna hide his hand.
Amen.
He gonna hide it.
Yeah. You know what
the devil is gonna hide his hand, bro. And the devil play in this game.
Yeah.
The devil plays in this game. So and as black people, as black organizers, as black men, right? You know, wanting to stand up, be leaders, and lead the charge, you know, for liberation and education in our community, you have to be able to stand on your own 10 toes and be uncompromised. But in that, being uncompromised also means being able to speak the language of your people. That means every intersection of your people. Educated, non-educated, if they got a middle school degree, you need to be able to talk to them too. Mm-hmm. Like, because they stopped going to school in middle school, that's not a sign of intelligence, right? And a lot of times we treat our brothers and sisters as other than, right? You know what I'm saying? We go to school, we become degreed, we get closer to whiteness, and then we treat those who did not have the opportunities that we had, we treat them other.
Yeah.
Right? And so hence why we have the problem that we have right now in our voter constituency, because we don't have community.
Yeah.
Right? And that separation is real. And just like Sean was saying, when them politicians come on campus and they talk to y'all and it feel fake, it's the same way in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because these neighborhoods still flooding. Mm-hmm. They still food deserts. Mm-hmm. They still closing down the schools. They still don't have adequate public transit. I can go on and on and on. Go in a black neighborhood, find a clinic. Find somewhere where a person who want to work with their hands can be trained. An electrician, a welder, a plumber. Find it. You know what I mean? So if that's the kind of tangible shit I'm talking about. Like you can tell people, even banks, right? Like there's nowhere for anybody to come up, right? So if we're gonna go talk to them, we're gonna talk to them about how they can actually live happy, healthy, productive lives. And what the solution is going to be is something that is going to put economics in their life so that they can have upper mobility for themselves and their children and their children's children.
Yes.
Because they ain't talking to niggas like that no more.
No.
I'm gonna be honest, that's true. And if you're not talking to somebody, if you come to a neighborhood with some swag on you, or you think you better than this because you're at this point of life, and while the other person not, your brother or sister maybe not, that's how you even lose voters, even point blank right there. That's how you even lose even hope, right? Us as Black people, which I notice, I'm gonna say even other cultures, but mainly Blacks, we are in the survival mode. We are trying to make it out, right? Instead of how other cultures, they're not in survival mode. Like they can make money while they sleep, something like that. Wow. We don't even know how to make money or even how to save a paycheck.
And can I add on something?
We live off of paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, you can add something.
And I agree with what you said, because even the brothers that make money in their sleep, they don't necessarily try to pass that on to other brothers that want that same experience. Like Christian was saying before, like I feel like people do end up getting that sense of privilege and that sense of, oh yeah, I'm better than everybody else. I'm better than everybody else. I done made it out already. But where is your community? Where is your sense to give back? Where is your sense to want to help people? Because there's a lot of people out there that are really intelligent, really driven. They like, we've been talking about it this whole time. They just don't have the same opportunity. So it's not right for you to, find that crack through the door, find that way out of your bad situation or your not so good situation, and get to where a lot of people want to be, and then not go back and pass that on.
Yeah,
it's not right.
Yeah. So you can always help. Always help. You can always go back and help, because at the end of the day, if you have the money for the funds and you just send your banking, your bankings or checkings or savings, you have to help. Because I feel like it's been going on for too long for seeing our people in the survival mode. Like way too long. Like there's no reason why.
And I agree. Sometimes it's not even about having that money. If you have the voice at a certain stage, then speak up. Be able to talk for people who can't talk for themselves.
If you have the heart.
Yeah, the heart. You have to be able to represent people. Once you get to a certain stage and you're at a certain level where it's like, I know if I say something, then it's gonna affect not only me, but the way that everybody else views people of color. So it's like, why not be able to speak up and represent for what's actually right for these people? I don't see a lot of that, and when I do see it, it's just like, come on.
Yeah, it's rather performative. So I got 2 questions, 2 rapid fire questions I want to ask. My first question is, in 1 or 2 words, describe the state of politics today. I'm gonna start with Christian. Yeah. I was gonna pick you anyway.
It is, at first, the one word I have is just dysfunctional. And the reason I say that is because it's like we are living in a time to where it's like we have politicians that lack honor. Let's just start there. We have politicians, especially an executive, that lacks honor. My mom and I, Christian, had a conversation. She said this was never a conversation because there's I'm talking about in the political climate, there's conversations about Democratic versus Republican. She said this is bigger than that, because she always references the fact that we've had honorable Republican presidents, but honestly, when we see the behavior that is coming from the chain of command, literally, then everybody else under it in the lower offices are going to, well, not necessarily the lower offices, but the other offices are going to be able to be led to believe that this type of behavior is acceptable. Because we're witnessing right now in politics, we're witnessing policies that does not reflect us. We're witnessing not only policies that does not reflect us, but court decisions and cases that are detrimental to us as a people, that are seeking to lessen our representation and even, suppress our vote. And so it's just politics right now. If I had something to name it, it would be dysfunctional, because and the reason I said dysfunctional, even because within the systems, within the legislative, judicial, and the legislative, judicial, and executive branches, there's no checks going on. Like, I feel like it's becoming extremely corrupt. It's specifically because one branch is literally becoming more powerful than the other. And so if I had one word, I'm not gonna talk long. If I had one word, I could go on.
I'm not gonna talk long. But one more thing.
Yeah. If I just had one word to describe it, it would be dysfunctional.
Yeah, okay. All right. Sean?
I have two words. I say, as Christian has said one of my words while he was talking, I say broken and corrupt.
Okay.
I say broken just because like people have their own way of believing things and it's just not how it should be. Like you can literally look outside today and walk down the street. I just don't feel like things are the way they should be. That's why I say broken. And I say corrupt just because I see people in a lot of high places. They try to find like loopholes between legislature and different ways to do things that's going to diminish a certain demographic of people and uplift theirs, but it's by the book. So it's like you can't really say anything about it because we're doing things how it's written in the Constitution, or we're doing things how it's written in the rules. But it's like, what is your actual intention, and what is your actual, like, what do you actually want to get out of doing certain things? As Christian was talking about the redistricting, what do you feel like their actual intention was in doing the redistricting when it's actually taking a black person out of so it's like I don't want to touch too much on that, but I just say broken and corrupt because people are just not for the people, if that makes sense. We're supposed to be for the people, by the people, but I don't necessarily see the for the people,
Yeah, I don't disagree. What you saying, Phineas?
Irresponsible. Irresponsible. Just right there. Look, I'm a finance major, so I actually checked the market and how much your gas prices. You know what I mean? It goes to a 42.80 now to a tank. It went up out of nowhere. Like it's really affecting our economy such a bad way. And there's a lot of promises that were made, but I don't see no action put behind it. You can't talk your walk. Yeah. Like I said before, you cannot. So my word is irresponsible. If it's more responsible, we wouldn't be in this type of predicament where we're at right now.
I agree.
I don't disagree with none of y'all. If I had a word, y'all gonna be a lot more PG than me. If I had two words, it would be fucked up. Yeah.
I agree.
Totally fucked up.
This is
it's ruined. It's ruined right now. And it's going to take a long time for us to claw back from the Trump regime. But we ain't going to dig too far into that, right? Because,
I was just about to.
Yeah, we ain't going to give, bro. I haven't really been giving Trump a lot of glory on this platform. I make fun of a lot of people around him, but
right.
I haven't really given him too much. But, I mean, he been falling asleep, though, in meetings. Like he been sleep. They've been catching that boy sleep a lot. And,
that's what I've been saying. I was gonna ask you. You said we were gonna get too deep. I just wanted to ask: do you think that you said that there's gonna be a lot that's gonna have to be done after his term? Yeah. So do you think we're gonna have to go into a period of reconstruction? like I genuinely want to know because it's become extremely corrupt.
Look, the stock market going to crash. I want you to know that.
I would say yes, and I agree with Phineas on the stock market crashing. So I think they're trying to crash. I think they're trying to crash the stock market.
I have a question for you right now.
Okay, wait, go ahead.
How much oil do you think we have as a country right now?
Now that I don't know, but I can answer all of this in a circle. Right? Let's start with Christian. So, do I think we're going to go through some kind of reconstruction? Yes. I think it's going to be more of a social reconstruct, and we're definitely going to have to do reconstruct the way our legislature works, right? The Democrats are going to have to win the House and the Senate, and we're going to have to undo a lot of laws that have been done. That's going to be first. And that is going to be a fight because we have a Supreme Court that leans right? So, that's why I said we're going to have to claw back because Supreme Court appointments are for a lifetime. So if this if something tries to get changed, right, and the Republicans may have a majority or whatever the case may be, and that gets taken to the Supreme Court, there is a chance that it could fall on deaf ears and we could be in a similar predicament, right? So that's the first thing. So yes, kinda. The economy is going digital. That's what's happening, right? Like if you know anything about China, they don't use paper money anymore. everything goes through this app called like WeChat, I think it's called, on their phone. It's called WeChat. So like all of their banking information and all other kind of stuff is in the app on their phone. And this is what they're trying to get to, right? Like you see the big crypto dollars and all that stuff that is happening in Congress. Well, like, you know, they want to be able to put all of our transactions, our contracts and stuff like that on the digital ledger, right? Smart contracts and stuff like that, right? So you buy a house, it usually takes like some time to be able to get all this paperwork done and stuff like that. Well, once this is passed, it won't be like that, right? You'll be able to do a smart contract. It'll be a whole lot faster. There are these things called remittances, where like if you are here and you're a foreign national and you send money from your paycheck back home, it's called a remittance. Well, now, because we use a network called Swift, it takes quite a while for those people's money to get home. But with this new transition of money, right? Like the new internet, the new financial highway is a company called Ripple. And Ripple has a technology called XRP. And on the XRP ledger, they are claiming that they have a better technology than what we have now. So that payments, there ain't no more waiting like for Western Union or nothing like that. Like everybody can get their money in a split of a second. So, you know, now it's not like that. So in order for it to happen, they need to what is called tokenize everything, right? So, and they got to put that stuff on the digital ledger. So gold, oil, pork butts, whatever you case going to be, whatever commodities, they're going to tokenize it and they're going to put it on the ledger. Well, the skeptics are saying that, like, in order for this to happen, the way it needed to happen, they need to crash the stock market. Now, how true that is, I don't know. But Phineas is the finance major, and he said that the stock market is going to crash. Right?
It's going to go down. Definitely is. But it's going to be one of the type of things where at 2028, or at least I say 2032, the houses, I know all the real estate agents finna make a boatload of money because a house is finna go down, everything's finna go down. But people gonna take advantage. It's always pros and cons to everything, though, right? To every experience. So people gonna take advantage of it. But people who trade, do all that stuff, they can still win money, but it's still.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do what's called the Big Short.
Yeah.
So yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like they're definitely going. The administration, I think the world economies, like the world leaders, they're going for. I think they're trying to achieve a specific kind of reset in our financial system, right. And that's the war is a result of that, and a bunch of different unilateral actions that have come out of the executive branch. Are like all of these things are financial, right? Trump is here for business. He is here to like move money and try to move money in unprecedented ways that have never been moved. And so with that being his MO, I would not put it past them, right? Because of the things that they're trying to do with the Federal Reserve and all of that stuff. Like, and he just, they just put in, him and his family just made like millions and millions of dollars on a crypto deal not too long ago. So as far as the oil is concerned, Texas pumps more oil than most countries do.
Right.
So we straight for right now. And the way that the strait works, right? So like a ship will leave. So there was already like 4 or 5 ships on the way to America when the war started. And it takes the ships like a year and a half to get here. So there was already like oil on the way. And then we still fracking. So we all right. But the supply has gone down, which is why the price went up. Because there is oil on the way, but they don't know, like, after that oil get here, how much more oil we gonna have. Because we still at war and we are no closer to resolve. And they said, fuck y'all, we closing this thing down. Like, ain't nobody getting nothing, right? So, it's going to be a lot, people not going to Florida for the summer. They probably going to go to Biloxi, you know what I mean, or something like that, right? Because it's not as far.
Yeah.
They got, you got to make some adjustments. But definitely politics is in a shithole, like you all just so eloquently put. And if the Democrats don't get it together, it is going to, like, as far as like people on our side is concerned, right? And I'm not saying that black voters are monolithic, like not all black voters are going to vote Democrat, even though the majority of us do. Yeah. But the party that we choose to back to be able to help us with our well-being is going to continue to get their ass kicked if they don't get it together. Yeah, and that's as straight as I can put it, right? Like, yeah, with young voters, with black voters, with young black female voters, with old black female voters, right? Like with voters who are financially conscious voters, Like there are a lot of different intersections of voters inside the Democratic Party that are not specifically being spoken to.
Right.
And those intersections don't want to speak up about how they feel about it with the fear of being canceled or some shit. Honestly.
Fear being talked about because of social media, but yes,
Right.
honestly.
Yeah. No, they will cancel your ass.
You're right.
So, you can't say I don't like this or I'm not with this or maybe you shouldn't say that. Not like out loud. Like, you see how I'm not saying it right now. I'm just saying that they will cancel you, right?
Cancel culture.
But I'm gonna be honest too, like even people even lose their jobs because of politics, because of things like this, because of stuff they don't believe or they have to say. So
Yeah.
Something like that. People literally loses their fortune like because of this.
It's it's tricky, but I think we're in a tough spot right now.
Right.
All right. I got one more question. Then we got one more song. Then we're gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna have to have y'all back on. I feel like, I feel like we had a good one today.
Yeah,
like,
good conversation.
I feel like this is a good one.
Always had a great conversation.
Next time y'all don't come dressed like Martin Luther goddamn King. How about that? Right?
Sean trying to tell us.
Look, you gotta come. Come on.
We had our get out on the bed.
But this is how we gotta represent the first time as black men, because you remember what you were saying, how we get viewed differently by our parents. Once they see this and they see the tie and they see the suit jackets and they see that Collegiate 100 pin that I like that you got on right there, Phineas.
Yeah, that boy Phineas did his thing.
Look, I think it represents because that's what we do.
I seen it.
Different type of imagery that you get from just the 4 boxes.
I seen it. I seen it. Yeah, Miss Johnson like it. I love it, baby. I love it. Yeah, I like Christian. I like the way you put them stripes together with that blue. Yeah, I like the way you did that. I
appreciate you. It just came out the closet.
Little 1, 2. I like that. Nah, man. If I ain't never told you before, and I know I have, I'm extremely proud of the 3 of y'all. I think you brothers have an excellent future ahead of you. But love to have y'all back on my show as guests. And I think that the words that you gave the world today are going to be, very helpful in the process of like Black liberation and helping older people understand like what they need to do to be able to meet young folk where y'all are, you know what I mean? And hopefully, some people find y'all through the sharing of this and, whatever the case may be, and they ask you to come somewhere and inspire some young cats to get out and vote, to get out spiffy, join the Collegiate 100, be Mr. Sophomore, run for student president or, whatever the case may be. Just be excellent, dog. Like I said earlier, I love to see my YNs do big things. My professional YN. What I mean? Yes, ma'am, Miss Johnson.
But you want to know something that always stuck with me too? Like my mother always told me, dress how you want people to perceive you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That right there, that stuck with me because I've been to every area, white, blacks, everywhere. The way I dress is the way that people are going to respect me. You know what I mean? If I come to this, or if I would have hopped on this podcast with my little t-shirt, my white beard, my do-rag on, all that stuff, y'all would think, oh, he ain't taking me seriously at all. You know what I mean? And that's why I say, like, if you're going to speak it, you have to walk it. Like me, I want to be chief financial officer, not chief financial officer, CFO. And in order for me to do that, I have to carry myself to a whole different level for me to get, for me to be like that. You know what I mean? To get our goals, to get our dreams and ambitions. And I really want to tell people and everybody in here, dress how you want to dress, but dress professional and dress excellent. Put yourself together because you can.
In different words, dress now where you want to be in the future. If you want to be somewhere high professionally, start doing it now, because it's only just gonna work your way up. Just start doing it now. Start dressing professionally now. Start dressing where you want to be now. Me, I want to be an attorney. I walk around in my nice business professional, my nice business casual all the time. Dress where you want to be in the future.
Right.
I got a word for y'all. You got to see it before you see it.
Come on.
You'll see it.
You got to envision it. Come on.
You see yourself living in that dream, living in that career. And so that's why we do it. This is a faith move. This is an expression of our faith because we believe that we're going to be in these rooms one day.
Amen.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. Y'all boys is, y'all know. Y'all know. You know what I mean? Y'all know. Y'all boys, if anybody gonna do it, the three of y'all gonna do it.
Most definitely. And then we're going to pass it on to the next one.
Yeah.
Pass
If
it on.
anybody gonna do it. But next time, leave your ties at home. We're gonna unbutton. We're gonna unbutton a little bit. Listen to a little hip hop. You know what I mean? Like wife say, and I'm just talking shit. But my philosophy on that, right? Because I do agree with that. I don't disagree. But also, like, right, I believe everything is coded in racism. Right. And that's just like, that's just where my mind is, right? You know what I mean? I had an argument with a good friend of mine some years ago, and very astute businessman. And he was telling me one day, you know what I mean? Because we normally like dress down, stuff like that. He was like, man, I want to start wearing suits. And I was like, and I had just got done working at a lobbying firm. I had to wear a suit every single day. And I hated it. I'm not even gonna lie. It wasn't my thing. That the Lord, that wasn't my ministry, right? The Lord did bless me for that. And he was like, man, I want to start wearing suits, blah, 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 blah. And I went, dog, you just trying to be like white people. He got so mad at me. And at that moment, I didn't have the vocabulary to say what I was trying to say, which was, you are already successful.
Okay.
Right? Like, you're already successful, black man. And you, like, it pains me, right? And I completely understand, right, playing the game. The three of you are ahead, wise, right? You know what I mean? You understand the game, right? If you're gonna be a good basketball player, you need to put up 1,000 shots, right? You want to be a CFO, CFOs wear lawyers. Wear suits. You want to be a lawyer, lawyers wear suits. You know what I mean? I'm not, but when I think my thing is, right, like, is the racism behind it bothers me. So when you see me in, you know what I'm saying, maybe some bright colors, or something that may not be so like forward professionally, that's the rebel in me saying, no, white people, no. Like, right, like, nah, not today. Not today. Maybe tomorrow, but like not today. Because when I think that the thing that radicalized me was this. When I got deep into, when I started to really go and say, okay, I'm going to be a political organizer. And I went and started working for non-black people. I would get to see how non-black people would show up to work. And I'm like, this is some bullshit. Like, this is jacked up, dog. Like, they got on flip-flops and Hawaiian shirts and shorts and all this other kind of stuff. And, like, brother that was my mentor, right? He was like, he would be on me, bro. Where's your tie? Where's your jacket? Where is this? Where is that? Where is this? Where is that? And I would just be, I would feel like, damn, like, what's going on, right? And I'm also not deeply Southern, right? Like, that's another thing. Like, I'm a military brat. So, like, I grew up moving around a whole lot. So, like, when you are not raised specifically in like a one place around a bunch of blackness like that, the norms of like how you have to behave as a black person in this white space to be able to be accepted, to be able to get to your next avenue, right? Like, those weren't necessarily bestowed upon me, right? I kind of grew up like a white hippie, billabong, flip-flops, T-shirts, all that other kind of stuff, because I was in close proximity to like non-blacks. So when I got to Prairie View, all of the stuff, right, like that you are taught at the illustrious Texas Southern University about showing up, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? The importance of like wearing the suits and things like that. Like the rebel in me, and I tell Sean stuff like this all the time. Like when we like talking like one-on-one, you know what I mean? The rebel in me is like, man, forget that, dog, right? Like, that's why I choose to work for myself, right? That's why I choose to, you know what I'm saying, do it the way that I'm doing it, because I don't, right? Like, I don't know how, or it's not that I don't know how, I don't want to do it any other way, right? And so my platform is a show of, as much as I can, free blackness from the constraints of what we should be.
I understand that. Can I add
Yes.
something?
Yes.
I feel like a lot of those things that you had mentioned, they're very stereotypical. But my thing about stereotypes is the only way to put down the stereotype is to take control of it. See me, I have a neck tattoo, I have tattoos on my body, I have locks. I'm the tall black man. I play basketball. Like the biggest stereotype you see. But my thing is that you have to take control over it to get the respect that you want. If not even if that makes sense. I know it makes
No,
sense. I'm a
it totally
testimony.
makes sense.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense. I mean, right? Like, cause as like, I got tattoos on my arms, right? Like on my lower arms and stuff like that, right? And that as a more expressive black man, right? I'm not as conservative as a lot of my peers. I wear earrings, I got like tattoos, got tattoo on my hand, all that other kind of stuff, right? And those normally tropes of like, oh well, maybe I might not be well read.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe I might not know exactly what I'm talking about or something like that. You know what I mean? But I think that, in this conversation, right, as far as like being seen is concerned, and I think that's the biggest part, right? And I am proud of the fact that you three have found ways to represent yourselves in a way to project the reality that you want out into the world, where you feel comfortable in your blackness going into these spaces. And I think that is the most important part, especially, right? Like, because being young black men going into these professional spaces where there are not a lot of faces that look like you, right? You have to show up in this way. It can be daunting and sometimes give you fatigue.
Come on.
And so, knowing that there are spaces like here where you can come and let your hair down and be free.
Real.
Like, and you can come and you can just be yourself. And you can talk, speak in a vernacular that you would like to speak in and be heard by people who understand you. Like, my goal is to cultivate spaces like that for not just black men, but for black people in general. Right? So that yeah, you know what I mean? Something like that. So, you know what I'm saying? When I talk shit, they'll come here just like Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? This is my house. You come here, you take your shoes off. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You get comfortable. You know what I mean? Like, we here, we family. You know what I'm saying? We here to learn. We here to laugh. We here to spread love. You know what I mean? And I think that, the three of you are the embodiment of those three things. And, I am glad to have young men like yourselves to have dialogue with, to be able to, for y'all to be a mirror for me and me to possibly be a mirror to you. Because in all of my oldness, there's some ignorance that could be, expound from my mind. Yeah.
Honestly, I like to say thank you for kind words, but I will actually agree with you, because me being 6'3", 6'4", I think I'm 6'4" now. Let's say 6'3.5". Let's say that middle 6'3.5", big, tall black guy walking around in a white neighborhood. Like, you know what I mean? Like, going to white neighborhoods, it's a stereotype. Like, it's for real like that. Like, I noticed about myself that if I go into a room and if I don't present myself the way I'm presenting myself, let's say right now, or just overall, people are not going to respect me how somebody else who have a different skin color, they can go in a room with a t-shirt and some sandals and some shorts, and they give them the most respect off rip like that. And what I'm getting at right now, us colored people overall, we have to work 10 times harder than somebody else. Like, really, we really do. You know what I mean? So we have to do this and do that and do that. And that's why I honestly feel like we're, we get lost in that. We start losing ourselves, because in order for people to accept us, we have to do what they want us to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, piggyback what Sean said, like, yeah, we in suits, yeah, you and that. But somebody else can be in suit and he could be very, very irresponsible. Like, he wouldn't be wise. He wouldn't, would have wanted to do big things. So I totally agree with you coming from. I'm just piggybacking what what y'all said, and I experienced my own self. I really my own self. So that's why, like, that's just the main reason, like, of everything.
Yeah. Now, Christian, I know you're gonna be a pastor one day, so this is just your garb.
Look,
Yeah. I know you gonna be.
He was ready. Look, he was itching.
Listen, I love it. I love it. I'm just to be in this atmosphere, just to be surrounded. Christian, thank you for creating a safe space. I could tell you, we count it as a privilege and an honor to be here, and even for you extending that level of comfort and letting us know that we can be our authentic selves in the space. You know, that's safe for us as Black men in this society, you know, that seems to target us, you know, every little thing that we do. So such a blessing. We don't take it lightly. I could tell you right now, when Sean, I'm grateful for Sean. He's the one who told me about this conversation today, about this stream today, and I'm just so grateful to be here. It's just, you know, I don't take it lightly. I don't. We all were very excited throughout the week. We were texting.
Ecstatic.
We was texting back and forth like, come on, y'all, big day.
We need you to understand. Like, you told us how you're thankful for us, but we need you to understand that we are truly grateful. But for me, my brothers, we are grateful for real.
Yeah, no, I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. I really appreciate y'all. Okay, because we've been longer, and I gotta go. One more question. One thing you want people watching to understand about your generation that people in power are getting completely wrong.
We're not a dumb generation. We're just misinformed, and they have to do more informing, and they have to be more present. As I said earlier, the matter of showing up with the proper intention. Don't ever think that Gen Z is just an internet generation and we're dumb. Don't ever think that, because we're so intellectual, and as you can tell just by us having a conversation with you. So my thing is that we're not dumb. We're very, very smart. You just have to be present and be able to inform us about certain things. And one thing that I want them to know as well is that the same way that we was doing stuff 60 years ago is not the same way that we do stuff today, which is why somebody from 60 years ago can't come and win an election from today, because it's just not the same. So they have to assimilate one thing, because one thing I can say is that my class, the class of 2025 and the class of 2029, we're one of the biggest classes ever. So once you get a hold of, and not necessarily a hold, but once you inform those people of what's actually going on, those people that actually have the chance to, you know, make change, that many people, especially as a Black demographic, it's like, okay, now we're informing them. And as you can tell, it's people like me, it's people like Christian, it's people like Phineas, who are going to take that information and then pass it on. So they just have to realize that it's kind of a gap between what we do and what they used to do, and they need to just close the gap and then give us the information so we can provide it to the next generation.
Okay.
I totally agree with you right there, Sean. Like, that's a clap right there. That's a round of applause. But what I would like to say is, we are not blindsided. So don't think like, you know, you have to one up on us. Like you are this Gen Z. Trust me. Just because we ain't speaking, we still notice certain things that's not happening in our daily life schedule. Our daily life schedule is slowly drifting to something else that we never expect. You know what I mean? We have to change the way we do things now because of, you know, what is happening now. Now, I definitely do want to touch base on, is what Sean said, to, you know, build that bridge to at least inform us. Yes, please come out to Texas Southern, to any colleges overall. Please come out and speak to us. Because I promise you, we can watch on the screen. You know what I mean? Oh, I got my phone right here. Yeah, we can watch on the screen. But
when you're in our face.
If you're in our face, it's something different. It's something actually meaningful, because that's how you know that y'all actually serious. Because I'm not going to lie, some Gen Z people don't even care about politics because they think politics have nothing to do and impact their lives.
Mm-hmm.
You have to understand that, because we are not in la la land, but more it's like, you need my vote, you need everything. You know, we the boss. Something like that. You know what I mean? Like, we the boss, but not the boss. But we the boss.
Yeah.
Because like class of 2029 and class of 2025, that era is the biggest and largest class. And if you want votes, you have to grab our attention. In order to grab our attention, you have to do certain things that make you feel uncomfortable. So actually, by telling the truth on live streams, telling the truth.
The thing about it is that we're not going to care about it until we feel it or we see it.
Right. Boom. No.
Yes, man.
Boom. Just like boom. Boom.
Sean.
Y'all already did it. Just like that.
Christian, you got one before we sign off?
Okay, I ain't gonna say much. I ain't got nothing much to say, but I have a summary of what Christian. Don't do that.
You see, Phineas. You see,
Because Christian, you say that you get look. 2 minutes. Christian going for 2 minutes.
Okay, no. I was saying. I don't. I just have a summary of what both of my brothers have said. I just want them to know that the future is in good hands. That's what I would say. The future is in good hands. What Sean said, we're not dumb. And what Phineas said, take the time to engage with us. That's what I would ask from older politicians and leaders, is that you would take the time out to educate us, that you would take the time out to pour into us. Because what you fail to realize is that there's a social engineer that lives on the inside of each and every last one of us. And so that's what my prayer would be, is that you would take more time to engage with us, to make those personal connections, to make us aware of what's going on. Take the time, because and here's the thing, I'm not oblivious to the fact that because, with such a great responsibility upon your shoulders to serve the people, that you may not have the time. But I promise you, if you would just look and you would just take the time and see the excellence that my auntie just put it here, the excellence that exudes, from our generation, you would be amazed.
That's your auntie?
No. That's his mom. I said that's my.
Oh, that's your mom. All right. What's up, Phineas, mom? All right. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I love it, man.
That's all I was saying.
Remember Johnson,
just take
Yeah, she on her job. I love it.
Yeah, I
I love it. I love it.
Don't play.
Yeah, Miss Johnson, I'm gonna have to bring you on the show, Miss Johnson. Yeah, what's up?
I would love that.
Yeah. Mama Johnson. Yeah, all right, Mama Johnson. We might have to do that. I used to live up in Detroit. I don't know if you know that. I used to live on the east side of Jefferson Traumas. Lived there for about like 8 or 9 months. Yeah, I love the D. Detroit is my favorite black place in the whole wide world. Like, yes, like the two of you have never been to Detroit. I need to go up there with Phineas.
Have you ever been to New York?
Yeah, for sure I have. And Detroit is my favorite black place in the whole wide world. And my family from the South Bronx. Like, so I've been to New York. Like, when I tell you Detroit. Oh, okay. Did you ever see Michael Jackson?
Yes.
She did.
Yes.
Look, do your mama know Freddie Gibbs?
How about this? Go ahead, shoot her the DM and everything. Mom, get on this. Get on this panel.
You know Freddie Gibbs?
Come on. Get on this panel, mama, because y'all gonna have a great conversation. I can tell you, I can see the chemistry a little bit.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, I would. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Nah, I'm gonna reach out. All right. So we got one more song. I gotta go. It's dad time. I got one more song. This song is called The Shores of Senegal.
Oh, all right.
Yes. Now, I don't have a story about this song, but I will say that Mr. Tomo Nashi has a book that he's about to drop. Christian, you might be interested in this book.
Okay.
It's a book about religion.
Okay.
It's about how black people experience God.
I like it.
I think you would enjoy it.
What is it called again, if you don't mind me?
I'm looking for it right now because he has not finished writing it yet.
Okay.
Oh, he ain't got it on here yet. I'm gonna have to find it. But if you go on MrTomonashi.com, MrTomonashi.world, he has a book called Black Boy Joy. I'm actually just gonna share my screen right now. Yes. So this is it right here, MrTomonashi.world. He got a book called Black Boy Joy.
Oh yeah, hold on. I can definitely get some sales.
Yeah, Black Boy Joy. He writes children's books. There's a unicorn in my backyard. He is also the creator of the Disney show Hey AJ. He created. So this story he created is actually a Disney show. If you were online a couple months ago, they had some controversy about Do Rag Man. He created Do Rag Man on the Disney show Hey AJ. Yes.
Okay.
music we're listening to today. And so, yeah, I can't remember what the book about religion is called, but I'll share it with you all. But everybody, go and support the art. This is Shores of Senegal by Mr. Tomo Nashi. We're going to sign out after this one. I've had an amazing time, and I'm going to let these young brothers let y'all know where to find them when this song go off. I think that's the Shores.
Yeah. My ancestors walked on water, I should not drown. I am not lost, but I am not found. I reached a point of no return and came back home. Many others never had the opportunity. When you black, no one has immunity. Blackness comes with deeply rooted unity. These roots grew the most beautiful family trees. I am the trunk, the branch, and the leaves. I see myself in the birds and the bees. I see myself in the cherry blossoms that's twirling in the breeze. I feel closer to God when I'm out in nature. I feel closer to God when I write on paper. I feel closer to God when I smile at my neighbor. I saw God for the first time when my wife was in labor. For that gift, my love, I could never repay you. Thank you. Thank you. I feel that my art could heal the black community. In my work, you can feel my black community. On the shores of Senegal, stand at my reflection. When I hear those waves, I understand the connection we have to the past, the present, the now and then, the how and when, the prayers and sins, the balance between man and nature. I broke bread with a couple of strangers, we had so much in common. We laughed, talked about love and our dreams. I showed them pictures of my seed and the flower that she has bloomed to be, Jet Rose. Yeah. As these waves splash, I think about God's wrath. Those slave arcs, niggas marched on 2 by 2 like Noah's animals. It's hard to visit the past and stay spiritual. It's hard to live in the present and stay spiritual. It seems like killing those sharing my reflection is just another ritual. I get criticized by sheep for being an individual. It's cool, I stay warm under the wool. I learned more traveling the world than I ever did in school. I felt powerful when I touched my ancestors' tools. Yeah. I felt powerful when I touched my ancestors' tools. I realized my ancestors walked on water.
That's Shores of Senegal by Mr. Tomo Nashi. We're going to get up out of here, but before we leave, gentlemen, please tell the audience where they can find you.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Sean.Ascend. That's SEAN.Ascend. And you can also find me on LinkedIn, Sean Williams, SEANWILLIAMS.
All right. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to piggyback a little bit, but that was the best one tonight. That one right there was beautiful. But anyway, you can find me on Instagram, Phineas.09. So PHINES.09. You can also add my LinkedIn, just Phineas Long. PHINEASLONG, Phineas Long.
In addition to what my brothers have said, I am on, you can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Facebook, and both of you. Facebook is Christian Davis. And the reason I say Facebook is because I am in ministry, so you can find a lot of my ministry there. And then also Instagram as well, because my at is Chris MJ Davis. And then my LinkedIn is Christian Davis. And that is where you can find me. Also at Texas Southern University as well.
Yeah, you can find me on campus.
You can find me on campus, Texas Southern, TSU.
And the best HBCU known to man.
You're not going to blaspheme on this platform. You're not going to do that. Not here. No, sir. No, sir. We're not going to do that.
Oh, that is insane.
Yo, well, I am Christian Alexander, aka Pan. This has been great. I appreciate these young brothers. I hope everybody learned something. I had an amazing time talking with you all. This is the future, y'all. Look at them. Look at them. proud, strong black men, individuals, high caliber thinkers, the next leaders of America, of Black America. You are looking at them right now. And if you want anything to happen at Texas Southern University, you better not go to that campus without talking to my partners first. You heard it from here. You heard it from me first. Love, laughter, and learning. Shout out Mr. Tomo Nashi. Shout out to the chat. Shout out Miss Johnson. Appreciate everybody who participated in making this night amazing. I love y'all, and ain't nothing you can do about it, says Pastor Booker. And Christian, invite us to some of your ministry, dog. I want to see you preach.
Thank you.
Actually, I have the opportunity to preach next Sunday. Actually,
yeah. Shoot me a text if I'm around. I'm gonna come.
Guys, I have to go. They're kicking me out the library.
All right,
y'all. Peace.
all right.
Peace.